Maybe I just can't hack it. Maybe I'm not good enough to become a Formula 1 driver within the TOCA Race Driver 3 world. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Traxion YouTube channel for what is episode 23 of my TOCA Race Driver 3 World Tour playthrough series. Now this time out we have 1990s Classic Williams Grand Prix. We're definitely getting to the end of this career mode now. I think there's going to be some pretty cool car classes coming up and I don't want to waste any time, so let's jump in.
You got a face like a bulldog chewing a wasp. I'm gonna bend your ear. Don't let me down this time, son.
We re-enter World Tour mode and we are now on tier 28. So we've still got 29, 30, 31 and 32 to go. So 5 tiers left including today's tier. And as I said, I'm going to go straight for Williams' 1990s Grand Prix because we've done V8 Supercars a couple of times and obviously this is a new car and a very exciting car at that. Now we have a fairly unique objective here. We've got to finish the championship above at least one of the following: Bobby Knight and Melvin Stock. So we've actually got some driver names brought into the objectives for the first time, which is cool. There have been a few other championships I've seen that have that, but not one that we've actually done. Now it's the FW18 we have in this series, which I believe is the 1996 Williams, which took Damon Hill to his first ever world and only world championship, with his teammate Jack Villeneuve coming up a little bit short, but that Williams was completely dominant that year. We've got 6 laps of Hockenheim, 6 laps of Silverstone, 6 laps of Zandvoort, and 6 laps of Oschersleben. I'll see if I can get through all of these today in the episode, but if it's taking too long, then I might split it up a little bit. We'll just have to wait and see. There's our Williams, 750 brake horsepower, that's the only stat we're going to get. Let's see what she's capable of. Hockenheim up first, and we do have a mandatory pit stop between lap 1 and lap 5.
You've got a chance for big things. Just get through this championship.
We've got a crazy rev range looking down the bottom right, so we've got to try and deal with that, but instantly we've got lots of grip into the first corner, decent amount of power of course from the V10 engine. Brake nice and early, and we're up into 7th place, but this thing feels basically like, funnily enough, a more modern version of the 1980s Williams. My wheels started coming off, so let's just sort that. Already 210 miles an hour heading into the hairpin. Got no lockups in this car because of the lightweight nature, which is much easier, but we've got too much power to just give it a bit full on the exit. We did make the move stick though, and that's P6 already. Oh, I've made a mistake.
Stick to the road, you can't cut corners like that.
We've actually got a caution for running wide, and it's going to happen again. And that's kind of lost us some of the progress. But with 6 laps in this race, I'm not too bothered about little mistakes early on. The car does feel very light. The steering is different to the 1980s Grand Prix car. It feels, as I say, a bit lighter, a little bit more, I guess, scary, a little bit more likely to step away from you.
Stay focused. Okay, anytime you want, you can come in and make a mandatory pit.
Okay, it was a good start to the lap, but the second half of the lap has been very poor indeed. And we've just lost another position now down to 10th. This is not good. Okay, we're up into 6th position. We've had a few pit stops we've made in front of us. I can see on the minimap actually one of the icons is showing up green, which I'm going to guess means that's our rival for the championship. Of course, it doesn't matter. We could finish 10th in the championship. As long as we beat at least one of those 2 other drivers, we actually qualify for the next tier. So in some ways that makes it a bit more straightforward. Much neater through there.
Guys are starting to wear a little. Be careful in the corners.
Okay, I think I'm going to do one more lap and then come in for my pit stop. No! Big mistake. Lost another position. I'm not really making too much good progress here, and oh no. Oh dear.
Take it easy now. There's a minor problem with your engine.
I've Sebastian Vettel'd it without the rain. Not good. That was a strange race. Like, I started off very confident. The first lap went very well, things were good. Then I started kind of struggling to get to grips with the car a little bit and kind of pushing a bit too much. And the steering felt really strange. Like, it wasn't quite as intuitive as the 80s Williams like I thought it was at first. I then felt like I was getting into rhythm again, but as soon as I made that mistake and pushed a bit too hard, I was getting crazy understeer, all sorts of issues, and I ended up putting it in the wall. So this is not going to be easy at all. I can't quite remember at the moment what the names were of my 2 rivals, so I'll need to look into that. It looks like we do have the mid-90s Grand Prix point system in place, which is good. So we're not going to lose out too badly with a DNF, but yeah, it just proves that it's not going to be a straightforward thing. So it's Bobby Knight and Melvin Stock. So Knight and Stock. Looking at that, Knight actually won the first race, but Stock also scored 0 points. So I guess you could say that's okay. Looks like Knight's starting from pole position again, so they could run away with the championship. Stock is down in 8th though, so I guess we can aim to try and beat Stock. That's probably quite realistic. We're starting 10th by the looks of it, so not bad at all. Right, let's see if we can get off the line well here. It's very difficult to minimize wheel spin in this car, especially compared to the AI. Nice undercut in the first corner. Now we're going to get up to P9. Now I'm going to take it easy because this is where we need to be careful and try and get used to the car's handling a little bit, because it just doesn't turn well at all times. But it's okay through there. P9. You can see stock. That's our target. They've also got no points. We just need to beat one of the two of them. So just beating stock is absolutely fine. Oh, yeah, okay. Nice through there. Decent amount of downforce. These cars, I have to say, look beautiful. We're going to thread the needle a little bit around the outside of this one. Looks a bit like the late 90s Arrows. The alongside, nope, seems to have P5. There is still a car there, but I'm just going to brake nice and late. Still there. I'm going to have to leave a little bit of room. I think we've got the move done though. And there we are, P5. The thing about this car as well is it's pretty good when you're kind of within the limits. As soon as you just slightly push a bit too hard or go a bit too fast, the understeer becomes ridiculous. So that's what you've got to watch for. You've just got to back it off a little bit and drive just below what's possible in order to get the most out of it. We're going to go for a ridiculous move into here. Nope, back out of that one. It's quite intense again, this racing. It's a lot harder than the F3 car was, that's for sure. Now, of course, we look at the 1996 Williams as a complete classic, but when you think about when TOCA Race Driver came out, which was around 2005, I believe. Oh, I've understeered. No. What I was going to say is, if you think about the fact that this game came out in 2005-ish, this is less than 10 years old. So, you know, if this is the equivalent of a game coming out now that was an F1 car from 2012, like, that's what we're talking about here. So, it's actually, this car was a lot closer to the release date of the game than we are now to the release date of the game, which is weird to think. Car in front of me is making a pit stop. Looks like our championship rival's still out in front, Knight, but we are ahead of stock, and that's the main thing for this championship, I believe. Oh, same corner again. This car's really not liking Stowe. Notice how I blamed the car there, I didn't say me. But look at that. See, at slow speed, if you just not got the right angle, you get huge understeer and then huge oversteer in the rears. So that is where you've just got to drive this car below the limit. As simple as that. Okay, I'm really struggling now, so it's going to be a pit stop. Just going to try and keep this thing moving. Look at that. Understeer. Other car goes through, we'll stick to the inside. It's just so strange when it just begins to understeer. Let's pull it into the pits then. We can take the entry flat out, hopefully. Okay, we're not going to repair the suspension. We're going to take tyres though, and we're only going to take 3 laps of fuel because that's all we need as far as I'm aware. Okay. Where are we coming out? P16. And I'm sure the 2 cars in front of us have also pitted, judging by the gaps, so let's just see where... Oh no! Just won't turn! Oh, this is a disaster. Maybe I just can't hack it. Maybe I'm not good enough to become a Formula 1 driver within the TOCA Race Driver 3 world. That was one of the most pathetic retirements I've ever seen. Like, I went in a tiny bit deep in Maggots and Beckett's, and the car just would not steer. It was almost like in real life if you're sliding across wet grass. That was phenomenal. I've got no one to blame but myself, sadly. That's terminal damage yet again. Oh, what a surprise. Stock took the win. Stock took it. Not even Knight. Knight scored 1 point. Stock took 10 points and the race win, despite being like 8th on the grid. You're raising my scripting suspicions, TOCA. You really are. I guess the good news is that no one's running away with it. I'm still only 11 points off the championship lead. However, my 2 biggest rivals are 1st and 2nd now, and I have no points. So I'm just really going to have to nail these last 2 races. I feel like the pace isn't that bad. Maybe. I'm not too sure. I just keep crashing. Stop crashing, okay? The 3rd race is at Zandvoort, which I am more comfortable with. So let's see if I can put that into practice and take a win. And that will really make it exciting for the last race. Let's give it a go. 9th place off the line. We've got the Knight and Stock beside me, so that's pretty good. Take it nice and easy through turn 1. Stock's going to sneak through on the inside. Be so careful with the AI through this opening sector, because I know how... Oh! Well, they're not being careful with me, are they? I think that might be Stock out of the race. Or with severe damage. That honestly wasn't my fault, though. The car on the left of me just sent one down the inside. And am I going to complain about that? Well, it's a bit unfair, but it happens to me a lot.
Remember to pit in this race.
I've got to try and score some points now, though. Cannot put the power down anywhere. I really don't have control of this car. I don't feel comfortable, I don't feel confident with the handling. I'm just all over the place driving it, which is a bit of a shame. Just makes me think I'm really unlikely to actually get through this tier with this championship at the moment anyway. Night's off, I'm off, we're all off. Get back on. Oh, I've been hit again. But we're still okay. This is just really, really tricky. West's going to defend. Oh! 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 That was a big hit. Knight's just been rear-ended big time and somehow got away with it without any rear wing damage. But that could have again helped me in the championship. No, just steer. Why wouldn't you steer? Right, I'm going to come in the pits, guys. Just get out of this mess. Try and reset the mind. If I can get her in the last corner, that is. Okay, they're all pitting as well. Let's, you know what? Let's stay out. Let's just stay out so we can get a flat-out run into the pit lane.
I know you can do better. Keep pushing.
Oh, I've lost another position. That's stock. Hang on a minute. Is that stock with no front wing that's just come back past me? This is a nightmare. It must be, because Knight was in the pits this lap. So that is stock with no front wing. Embarrassing me.
That's it now. Keep pushing.
Okay, we're going to enter the pit lane.
Make your choice for the pit work.
We'll definitely take tyres. We're going to take a little bit less fuel. Let's only take 2 laps of fuel. And we're back out in P14.
Looks like you've
Oh,
a bit of a
come on.
problem with your suspension.
Absolutely useless in the pit lane exit. It's lost us all of our advantage. We're definitely ahead of Knight though, but nope. Nope.
Keep your tyres nice and clean. Don't go into the infield.
I'm an embarrassment to the team, an embarrassment to Traxion, but most importantly, an embarrassment to myself. 3 races in a row where I have crashed out, which is not good. The second race in a row where it's just been a complete lack.
Transmission could be leaking a little. Careful out there.
Clearly my car is broken, Rick. Do I need to hear that right now? So yeah, as I was saying, 2 races in a row where I have come out the pits and gone off within the first few corners afterwards with like no grip, which is really interesting. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe the tyres are just cold? Maybe, you know what, that probably is what it is actually. And that does kind of make sense.
Stay sharp. Your gears are starting to go.
After 3 races, we can no longer complete the championship objective. I'm a little bit surprised Rick hasn't screamed at me in a while, to be honest, because I really did expect a big one coming from him for that. Stock scores 4 points, and I'm pretty sure Knight already had 11 points, meaning that we can't possibly beat either of them, so we are already out of the championship. Yeah. So it's forcing us to restart from one of the 3 Grand Prix we've done already. We can do a few more races, maybe one more race in this episode. So what I'll do is I'm going to restart from Hockenheim. I'm going to see if I can get to the end of the race with any chance of scoring points, and then I can, from that result, judge whether or not to pursue this championship and try and get through, or whether to abandon ship and jump to V8 Supercars next time out. We're going to go with Swingman, Chase View, whatever you want to call it for this one, because that tends to work better for us when we're struggling.
Just get through this championship.
Rick sounds quite tired, I'm not surprised. Sometimes it feels like you need to go a bit faster in order to generate a bit more speed, and other times you need to go much slower. Like, it's really strange. It's like there's a window of grip, where if you're at the right speed on the right line, you'll have loads of grip and you can turn around the corner easily, and other times, if you're not in that window, I should say, you'll just literally go off the circuit.
Your tyres are now at the optimum temperature.
Interestingly though, after the first few corners here, I'm up in 4th place, and it's just me being a little bit more slow, a little bit later with turn in, and just trying to follow the line as much as I possibly can.
The pit window has opened. Take your mandatory stop when you're ready.
Okay. They're already in the pits, so I will keep going round. I really need to remember this time as well, when I come out of the pits on new tyres, don't go too fast, like just take it easy. It's feeling a little bit easier from this camera view, to be honest, which is normally the case. I'm not sure why that is. I really don't quite get it. Because normally it's the total opposite for me with racing games. Much easier and quicker from cockpit camera. My rival made a pit stop there, so we've jumped up to second position. It's all about where we come out of the pits. Definitely feeling a lot more in control this time than I was the first time around at Hockenheim. Just with the car and the racing in general. Maybe this is a turning point, let's wait and see. No big major mistakes in this race really, so far. But the pit stop's still to come, so I'm not going to count any chickens. Okay, leaders into the pit, so we are going to lead our lap, at least. That's something. Okay, that understeer tells me it's time to come in. Fuel doesn't seem to be going down. I don't even think I need to refuel. Do you know what? I might just take no fuel, just tyres. See if that does the job. Okay, let's nail it into the pit lane. See where we come out.
Make your mind up. You're in the pits now.
Okay, so let's take no fuel because I think we'll be absolutely fine. Except that. See where we come out. P7, and we're not even in the points. Okay, now we need to heat up the tyres. That's crucial.
Those tires, or you'll lose it in the corners.
Okay. Oh, around the outside of Ransford. I think, is Ransford the one we came into the pits fighting with? Looks the same anyway. Looks like that 99 arrows. We're into the points, P6. Okay, that's an improvement. I don't think there's anyone left to pit. Oh no, there are.
One last effort. You're almost into a podium finish.
Oh, there's lots of other people.
And improve your
Rick,
position
shut
for the
up.
final lap.
Stop interrupting me, man. There were plenty more people still to pit. I thought everyone had pitted. So we're actually P2. I thought we were genuinely P7 there. P6, so... Wow. It looks like it might be possible after all. Sorry, Rick. I was angry and heat at the moment. I take back what I said. Looks like we've got one of our rivals out in front, which I'm assuming is Knight, based on the last one. Let's just see if I can hang on to P2, because that is the points we need if we want to actually have a go at this championship. Coming out the last corner, and it's going to be second place, guys. It's going to be a big improvement.
Great driving and an excellent result.
Okay, Rick's happy. He's forgiven me for telling him to shut up. Yeah, P2. Good stuff. To say I needed that would be a complete understatement, because the rest of the episode was completely diabolical. Either way, here we are with 6 points, 10 points tonight for the race win, which is one of our rivals, but stock scores nothing. That instantly puts us in a position where we can fight to try and qualify for the next tier. Next up, we've got Silverstone again, and then of course Zandvoort again, but I'm going to leave those races for next week's episode. So make sure you keep an eye on the Traxion channel, subscribe, and you'll be able to see that episode when it's released, and you can find out if I do indeed manage to qualify. I'm definitely not confident yet, but that first race has gone a long way to making me think it's actually possible. That was a complete and utter disaster with a little beacon of hope right at the end. It's a little bit like when Germany were like 6 or 7-0 up on Brazil, and then Brazil scored a goal, and everyone was like, hey! Kind of like that. However, I genuinely do feel a little bit closer to qualifying than Brazil did that day, because I feel like if I had the pace okay, I think I could have finished in the top 6. And I'm getting more used to the car as well. Definitely seems to help doing seasons a second time round, given the recent history as well with 1980s Grand Prix. So it's still going to be possible. We'll just have to wait and see how we get on next week. Thank you as always for watching, and be sure to leave us a like if you've enjoyed this video. I will see you next time, and until then, keep it pinned and have a great day.